but it's gonna be blue skies for you and I. We'll step out of the shadows and walk into the light. Yeah, it's gonna be blue skies for you and I.
Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Zalits, and today we're going to be talking about Celes. Now, I don't really know much about Celes or much about Final Fantasy VI. I know, it's blasphemy, but I've never actually played the games myself, even though I probably should. I've never actually gone back to play those masterpieces, although one day I would like to, and it would probably be very interesting to do. But anyways, let's move on into what she is and what she can do here. So she is a melee magic tank. Okay, I don't really know what that means just yet. Maybe she uses magic, maybe she actually covers magic damage. But either way, she's gonna be a tank, so I'm assuming that she's probably gonna have something to do with magic resistance. So her stat chart here looks pretty good. She has a 5-star base defense, which is always good for a tank. 4-star HP, not too bad. A pretty minor amount of max bravery, same amount of speed. 4-star initial bravery. I'm not sure why yet, but maybe she has something that that relates to that. And her attack is pretty average. Her stats table, they pretty much represent what her stats look like. Her HP is not that bad. Defense is above average. Her attack is pretty normal. Max bravery, pretty normal, and initial bravery as well. So let's move on into her command abilities and see what she can actually do here. Okay, so her first ability is Shine Edge, a one-hit bravery plus HP attack that grants small max bravery up for 2 turns, even though that doesn't even matter because we have Celes, so I don't know how much that's actually going to be useful. But either way, even without Celes here, that's still pretty good. Even if Celes wasn't here, that's a good passive, or not passive, but ability to have to increase your max bravery or her max bravery. Runic Blade raises bravery by half of Celeste's initial bravery. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why she has a fairly high amount of initial bravery, and grants her magic bravery absorption for 2 turns and provokes the target for 2 turns. Now, that's interesting. So she can absorb magic completely. I'm assuming it's completely. But I'm kind of worried that 2 turns, that doesn't sound like very long. That doesn't sound like a very long amount of time. It's kind of unfortunate. But I mean, maybe she has something. Maybe one of her gear or one of her one of her weapons will increase that duration, because that just seems pretty short. It doesn't seem like it's a very long time at all. And then let's move on down. She has Bravery Attack Plus, which is a 1-hit. Is that Frost? I think that's Frost. Yeah, Frost Bravery Attack. Lasts for 4 turns after using Runic Blade. Oh, that's not bad. Requires Lightning Bringer's passive. Okay, I'm assuming that's one of her weapons. And the condition is while Magic Bravery Absorption is up. So that's obviously the Runic Blade. HP Attack Plus. This is one of her 60 enhancement passive. I'm assuming this is from her passive from the 60 enhancements. It is a 1-hit Bravery plus HP attack, and requires the Strength 60 passive while Magic Bravery Absorption is up. And then of course her Spinning Edge, which I'm assuming is her EX, her EX ability. 5-hit Bravery plus HP attack, grants Rune Knight and medium attack up for 5 turns. Rune Knight increases magic attack and grants bravery and HP regen. Now that's pretty good for a tank. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad. So her abilities seem to be pretty good as far as a tank goes. I mean, it's nothing amazing, but it's it is what it is. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be pulling, just to have her just because they like her character. But ability wise, I mean, she doesn't seem like anything too out of the ordinary as far as tanks go. Although we don't have a magic tank, so having her could be very useful sometime in the future against magic bosses and all that stuff. So anyways, let's move on to her passives and let's see what she has here. So she has Shine Edge Light, which slightly reduces action delay after using Shine Edge. HP Damage Guard, slightly raises defense after taking HP damage, which it's not bad. She's a tank, she's a provoked tank, so that's going to be happening pretty often. Bravery Speed Up, slightly raises speed when bravery is over 50%. Or slightly raises speed when bravery, I think that... Did I say that right? I think for whatever reason I thought I said that wrong. I don't know. Runic Blade attack up slightly raises attack for 1 turn after using Runic Blade. Oh, okay, that's not bad actually. Bravery Live prevents break status if bravery is over 50%. What? That's actually pretty interesting. If a boss hits her for a lot of damage or something like that, you know, that's actually pretty good. They won't break her. That's actually pretty impressive. Shine Edge Charge increases the max uses of Shine Edge by 1. HP damage bravery gain grants a small amount of bravery after taking HP damage. Okay, that is something I don't think I've seen any other tank have. But that's very interesting. I'm not sure if that's percentage based. I mean, I don't think it's percentage based, but I'm wondering how much that actually is. Target attack up slightly raises attack upon attacking an enemy that is targeting the user. Tongue twister. I don't know why that was such a tongue twister. Pride of the Invincible General. Prevent KO if HP is over 50% and leaves its value at 1. Similar to some other tanks like Snow, this is also very, very good considering that she is a provoke tank. So you know she's going to be taking a lot of hits. So having that there is just going to prevent her from dying in, you know, 1 hit or something like that. So that's always good to have. And then moving on beyond that is her 60 enhancements, which she does have on the JP version. She gets buff attack and boost up, moderately raises max bravery and attack while buffed. Those are always good. We always know that having max bravery and more attack is always good, no matter what the situation, no matter what kind of character it is. Shine Edge Extend increases Shine Edge's max uses by 1, increases its number of hits to 2, tremendously raises its total potency, raises bravery based on 10% of inflicted HP damage, and extends buffs granted by Shine Edge by 2 turns. Okay, so that's actually pretty strong, especially for a tank. So she's gonna be doing like a pretty decent amount of damage, as well as getting some return on that as well. So that's always good. Like, you know, it's always gonna be, that's always good. That bravery return is very, very good in my opinion. Similar to Snow, I believe it was, that has something similar to that, where he gets some return on his attacks. I think it was Snow. I think it was. I'm not too sure, but it was somebody I remember has that when they HP attack or whatever. I think it was Snow though. Buff boost and speed all slightly raises all party members max bravery and speed while buffed. This is actually amazing. Like we always like, at least I think it is. Like I always love to see stuff like this for certain characters who have these buffs. Like, you know, you don't have to really buff. Like they're kind of just there. So like characters like, well, I mean, at least characters that are favorite characters of mine, like Titus, who suffer from having low max bravery, but small little things like this really help them out when they when just having like real buffs don't count. Like these don't actually count as real buffs. They just kind of happen once she has that once this effect goes into play. So that's always good to have. Runic Blade Extend increases Runic Blade's max uses by 4. Wow, that's a lot of uses. Moderately raises the bravery gain based on initial bravery. Turns magic bravery absorption to a stackable buff. Okay. Magic bravery absorption raises max bravery based on the number of stacks. Max stacks is 5. The number of stacks increases by 1 for every absorbed magic attack. Okay. This turns HP attack to HP attack plus while magic bravery absorb is active. HP attack is a magic bravery plus HP attack. Okay. So what I'm wondering is like, okay. Oh, okay. I kind of missed that when I was reading it. So when the more stacks she has, the more max bravery she has, which can actually lead. I wonder how much it actually increases it by. I'm assuming that it's something like 10%. Although I could be wrong. I don't really know the exact numbers or percentages for these abilities, but I'm assuming it's probably like 10%. Other than that, it would probably be pretty overpowered having that much max bravery, especially if you're facing an enemy that uses a lot of magic attacks. But anyways, let's move on to her gear. Let's see what her gear actually looks like. So she gets the Stone Blade, equips the ability Spinning Edge, okay, which we saw earlier in her command abilities. Lightbringer raises the bravery gain of Runic Blade and turns bravery attack to Ice Elemental bravery attack plus for 4 turns when ability is used, which is what we also saw in the command abilities. Grants small attack up for 4 turns and extends the duration of magic, bravery, absorption, and provoke. Okay, so that's all. That's good. This is what I was talking about. She does have a weapon that extends the duration of those abilities, or those buffs, I should say, and that debuff, the provoke. It's also really good. I'm not sure for how long exactly, but I mean, I'm assuming that because the small attack up is 4 turns, it's probably going to increase it by 2 turns or something like that. So that's not too bad. A 4-turn provoke, if it is for 4 turns. I'm not sure. Crystal Sword increases Shine Edge's potency and grants HP regen for 4 turns. Increases the potency of max bravery up and extends its duration. This is an overall good 15 CP. I mean, you can't really go wrong with having HP regen, and it also gives you more max bravery, so that's always good. Or not. Yeah, actually, yeah. It increases the potency, so it's gonna have more max bravery, and it's gonna make it a longer duration. So that's always good. You don't have to use as many abilities. Trying to keep it up. And then her final piece of equipment is her tiara, which gives her 680 HP and 84 defense, which are always amazing stats for a tank to have. So that's always good. Luckily, she didn't get the short end of the stick like some characters do, where they just give them random stats for no reason, like initial bravery, which I mean, initial bravery wouldn't be that bad for her, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes some characters get shafted with their armor pieces that just give them like really random stats that just don't make any sense. Anyways, let's move on to her artifacts as well, and let's see what she has here. So she gets Bravery Guard Up, which raises defense power by 5% when bravery is over 50% max bravery, and then 10% with the 2-star version. Bravery Speed Up raises speed by 2% when bravery is over 50% max bravery, and 5% when it is over, or when it's 2-star. And then of course she has her 2 ability passives, which her Shine Edge power up raises bravery damage dealt by Shine Edge by 5%. And then 10% respectively with the 2-star version. Runic Blade Brave Gain raises bravery by 5% of initial bravery after using Runic Blade, and then 10% with the 2-star version, which is pretty good. It's not too bad. So what do I think she's actually going to need as a character? Well, obviously she's a tank, so she's probably most likely just like a Snow. She's probably going to be wanting the same kind of stats. So she's probably going to be wanting, like, you know, a bunch of defense, a bunch of HP. As always, she's a tank, so I mean, that's always good to have. And then beyond that, I mean, her artifacts, like you could probably go for, as far as these artifacts go, I mean, you could probably go for Runic Runic Blade Bravery Gain, or Shine Edge, you know, which one of those you want. Bravery Guard Up wouldn't be too bad, I guess. You know, she's a tank, so I mean, it wouldn't be too bad to have. And then you could probably also go for, I mean, she obviously has a lot of potential to have a lot of max bravery, which is probably why her max bravery is a little bit lower than some characters. But let's move on to the gacha draws, and let's see what she has over there. Okay, and here we are over in the Gacha Hall of Fame for Celeste's banner and her event, and of course I have my my handy dandy notepad here that I use to record all this information, so I can do these draws and get some kind of estimate of what she's going to be like for her banner. Of course, as a disclaimer, like I always say in each one of these draws or draw type simulators, none of these numbers are definite. So if you see any of these numbers and they seem skewed, I mean, this is just my information, and of course doing 10 sets of data for this entire thing is not enough information to accurately show how good the pull rates are for this. So this is just my own personal kind of draw simulation that I can show you guys, and you know, this is just the way that I do things. But it should give you some kind of idea as to how good her pull rates are. I mean, it's never failed me before. It usually shows me some pretty accurate numbers. So hopefully it's the same here. I mean, the only one that really was out of proportion was Garnet's so far. So anyways, let me explain a little bit, you know, for those of you who are new, who don't know how I do things here. Across the top are the number of 10+1 pulls I did to obtain just one of these to obtain one of these weapons. Okay, so it'll be, you know, her 15 CP, 35 CP, and then Onion Knight's 15 CP and his 35 CP. And then going down are the number or the draw attempts that I did. So it'll be 10 sets of data. So, you know, whenever I get all the information for, you know, getting one of these, so it could be like, you know, 1 draw, 3 draws, 4 draws, whatever. Once I finish getting, you know, one of each of these, I will stop the data, record it down, or well, I'll be recording it as I do it, and then once I finish that, I will move on down and then continue from there, and then I'll reset this whole thing, and then, you know, continue on, so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start doing these, and then it's better for me to show you instead of talking about it. So let's do our first one. Let's see how good her draw rates are. I mean, you know, these simulators aren't always accurate, so, you know, like I said, you know, take this with a grain of salt. It will not always be as it seems, or how you know, the draws that I do here are not going to be 100% accurate. So again, take this with a grain of salt. Anyways, let's start. All right, so first draw here. Let's see what we get here. First draw, we got Tita's 15 CP. That's always good. Second draw. Alright, so we got an Onion Knight 15 CP, so let's record that. So now it took, we'll write down that it took 2 draws to get, and then we'll continue. So third draw here, another Onion Knight 15 CP, we're not going to record that because we already got one. Fourth draw, nothing. Let's see what the fifth draw has. Alright, so on the fifth draw, we got a Onion Knight 35 CP. So we'll write that down. Change that to draws, and then we will continue until we get Celes's stuff. Okay, so on the sixth draw we got Celes's 35 CP, so we're going to record that there. 6 draws, and then we're going to continue until we get her 15 CP, which hopefully won't take too long, but we'll see there. Nothing on the 7th draw. The 8th draw also yielded nothing for her 15 CP. Nothing again on the 8th or on the 9th draw. 10th draw, still nothing for 15 CP. This is not looking too good. Nothing on the 11th draw. Again, this happens from time to time. Like this will happen. But then again, like, you know, having these outliers always helps to make the data more accurate in the end. So that's why it doesn't worry me too much. Okay, I gotta fix this real quick. All right, there we go. Although it's not. There we go. I think that's. I gotta fix this, but there we go. Okay, so on the 12th draw, we got her 15 CP. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut here, and then I will come back with the rest of the information or rest of the chart filled out. And then I will give you guys my totals and estimates on, you know, the percentages you have, or the rates that I got for her. So I'll be right back, guys. Give me just a second. Okay, and I'm back with the finished chart here. So here is the table of information that I have retrieved from doing my simulated draws. Now, I know some things to point out are that some of these numbers are very high, such as in the number 4, where the 15 CP had 20, and Onion Knight's 15 also took 31. Now, I want to clarify this, that, you know, it has nothing to do with the simulator being bad. This is just RNG. Having these extreme outliers really help to calculate a better average to pull these weapons. So if you see these major numbers, just know that it's not going to always be this way, or it might not even be this way for you or on global at all. But, you know, this is just a way to show or to get a better average a better average number or amount of pulls that it's going to take to get, you know, all 4 of these weapons, you know, when it comes down to it. Again, I got, you know, I've gotten previous comments saying that, you know, that these simulators are bad, and they're really not. You know what I mean? Like they're very accurate as far as I can tell. Like, you know, I've done this multiple times already on multiple different character release videos, and they have so far not really let me down. So I wholeheartedly, like, you know, think that these simulators are very, very accurate. Well, not very, very accurate, but, you know, they are decently accurate at showing how good the draw rates are going to be for these banners. So anyways, like I said, or like I was saying before, always, or not like I was saying before, but like I said previously, take this with a grain of salt. And if you honestly feel like if you honestly feel like my numbers are wrong, try it yourself. I always encourage you guys to do this yourselves, and to, you know, comment down below and let me know what you guys' averages are, because my numbers will always be different from yours, because RNG is RNG. However, you know, the whole point of this is for that, you know, for us to realize that for us to try these numbers out and see if, you know, if these averages are correct. Now, I'm not saying that they're perfect, I'm not saying that they are what they are, but, you know, this is just what my averages are for what I got. They are by no means perfect representations of how good the draws are going to be. These are just, like, you know what I mean, RNG is RNG, and you might get everything in your first pool, and you might not get anything within 100 pools, so you never know. You always have to be you know, open-minded about these things. So anyways, let's move on into what the actual details of this are. So within the 10 attempts that I did for Celes, I averaged about 50 pulls altogether in between the 10 batches of data. For the 35 CP, it came out to about 62, which is pretty good, honestly. Like, it's not bad, you know. Those are pretty decent numbers. Onion Knight, he averaged a little bit higher. His 15 CP averaged a little bit higher at 72 altogether, and then his 35 CP was much more generous to get at 51 altogether. So then again, and then once I compile these numbers together, you just divide by 20, because there was, you know, there's 2 sets of data here, each having 10 different draw attempts, and we're combining these 2 numbers together, since we're trying to figure out how many it would take for Celes only, and the same thing for Onion Knight as well. And then you divide that by 20, and then you get the average, which the average is about 5.6, you know, which is a little bit higher than 5 draws. So I average it about 5 or 6. And then Onion Knights, to get both 15 and 35 CP, are about 6 and a little bit more than that. So let's go ahead and try it out for ourselves. Let's see, we're aiming for about 5 or 6 to get, you know, both of their weapons. I mean, of course, again, I'm not saying that this is going to be perfect, so, you know, this is always just a visual, like, you know, this is always just a simulation. You know, this is not saying that it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying that this is that you're going to get any of these weapons within those amount of pools. This is just giving you guys an idea. So let's go ahead and do the first one. First draw gave us Celes 15 CP and Onion Knight, you know, 15 CP, or 35 CP Celes and 15 CP Onion Knight. Very good draws, first pool. Second draw, again 15 CP Onion Knight, 35 CP Celes. Third draw, another 15 CP for Onion Knight. Another 15 CP for Onion Knight on the fourth draw. So we're heading into the fifth draw, which is like the final one for Celes. And on the fifth draw, we got Celes's 15 CP, which is about the average that I had for this. And we still have one more. You know, we still had about, you know, one more draw to get the average there. So we're under it right now. So we got all of Celes's within the 5 draws, you know, the 5 to 6 range. So let's see how long it'll take to get Onion Knights, because he's the only one that hasn't shown up yet. So 6th draw, let's see, will we get Onion Knights 35 CP? And on the 6th draw, we get Onion Knights 35 CP. So it seems like, you know, my averages, I mean, again, it's all RNG, but the averages are there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I did this literally, like you guys saw. I did not, you know, reset this, you know, this draw in the middle of the video. I did not do any of that. It all happened, you know, right there. Like, I started the pools, and I showed you guys, like, you know, my averages, and, you know, it just so happened that they all fit into the average. So again, I'm not saying that these numbers are, you know, the most accurate. I'm not saying that it's 100%, but these numbers are here. I make these charts, or, you know, these charts for you guys, so that you guys have an idea of what you're pulling for. And it seems like it was pretty accurate, you know, as far as the pull rates go. So if you guys are pulling for Celes, I wish you guys the best of luck. I mean, the draw rates seem pretty good. 5 to 6, you can't go bad with that. And as you saw here, 6 attempts, we got everything. So hey, good luck to you guys if you are pulling. But before we go, let's go ahead and do a you know, like we've been doing in these past few videos. Let's go react to Celes's release trailer. from the JP version, and I will switch over to that in just a second, guys. Alright, and here we are at Celeste's trailer video. Let's go ahead and look at what she can actually do. Let's see what this magic tank is all about. Again, I don't know Japanese, so I can't understand what they're saying. Okay, so it looks like she's meeting up with her gang. Okay. Oh, hey! That's pretty nice. Oh. Joe, okay, so she absorbs it completely. Okay. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So she absorbs it and turns it into bravery. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it looks like. Yeah, she completely converts it into bravery. That is very good. You know, we don't have a tank like her, so that'll be very, very interesting to see play out. Overall, she seems like she's gonna be a very good tank. So I mean, hey, Celeste, if Celeste is your wife, will go ahead and pull for her. She's going to be, I think anyway, she's going to be a very strong tank to have, you know, going, you know, into the future, especially with that whole magic absorption thing. There's a lot of enemies, a lot of enemy bosses that use magic, so that's going to be very, very useful. So she seems to be pretty strong too. Like her damage isn't that bad. Like we saw over here, where was it? Is her bravery plus HP. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too bad. So, was that with her 15 or her? No, that was with her 35 CP. So she doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, she's not bad at all. Am I going to be pulling for her? No. I really after this summer banner, I'm not really pulling on anything. I'm not planning on to pull on anything until Kuja now. So. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you guys got a good idea of what to expect for Celeste's banner. She seems to have some really, really good draw rates, as you guys saw. But again, RNG is RNG, and you never know what can really happen with these. So I really encourage you guys, I've said this before, to try this for yourselves and to see if this data matches up. But anyways, next up is probably going to be my adventure through Carbuncle Treasures, and then soon after my Chapter 9 hard mode bosses walkthrough. So keep a lookout for those. And yeah, until next time, bye guys.